Hello and good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I am Marina Shakur Haber, and I will be hosting, obviously, tonight's anxiety relief workshop, to be specific, and helping you to get out of the AI anxiety trap and how ChatGPT specifically and AI in general has been secretly hijacking your mental health. Now, here's what I'm going to be discussing tonight. I will be covering the why AI is a problem, anxiety is a problem. Then I will tell you why it is a problem and why you need to do something about it now. And I will give you some fascinating research data on AI. And then I will share with you 3 tips. But before we get there, what I like to do is to start my sessions with a calming, relaxing breathing techniques, because we want to be in the opposite state of anxiety, which is a state of calm and being in control of our emotional states. I will also give you another trance meditation. Specifically, it's called a 1 point, where you learn to take your control back through breathing and visualization. And I will also close it with a trance, a future pacing. You will see yourself in the future, taking you from where you are here today to where you want to be in the future in a year from now. Let's keep it real. And yes, I will be making you an offer, and it's something very special that ties right in to the problem that AI is creating for us today. So I'd like you just for a moment to reflect on your day to day and to think of all the things that have been hitting you. There's politics, the economy, your finances, there's the environment, there's your social life, your personal life, your relationships. Apart from that, of course, we also have the new addition to all of this overwhelm that we're seeing is AI, job insecurity, new technostress, and the fleeing of all of that into a state of being alone, feeling more comfortable in your own space, which adds to loneliness. And chatbots contribute to that loneliness. So here's the one thing I want you to take away from this workshop tonight. And I want to give you the ability to switch off your anxiety and go into an instant state of calm at will. You will learn techniques that will guide you to help you take control over your emotional states and take you from fear and frustration into flourishing. And I must assume that you are here in this workshop because you are dealing with anxiety and that it has been affecting either certain areas or all aspects of your life. And it's not only AI, but anxiety in general. So you're not crazy, you're not alone, and you have made a smart decision to come here to this workshop because I will give you some techniques, as I said, and there's science behind it that I will share with you why you are experiencing what you're experiencing. But most importantly, there are solutions, and you will learn some techniques that will help you solve the problem. Just to give you an insight of how rapidly this problem is escalating. 2 years ago, we had issues with even understanding what AI, artificial intelligence, stands for. And now 1 in 4 teens are showing AI dependency. That is alarming indeed. As I told you, we will start with a relaxing practice, a trance meditation, brief. And what I'd like you to do is in a moment, close your eyes, not yet, and it is just a breathing technique that will help you to learn and practice taking control through your breathing and through visualization and through the physical touch. So let's get started, shall we? So what I'd like you to do is breathe in through your nose and place your hands on the opposite shoulders. Please don't do that while driving. On the opposite shoulders, and then on the exhale, the longer exhale through the mouth to a count of 7, stroke the outside of your arms. On the inhale, bring your hands back up. On the exhale, stroke the side of your arms. This way, you're activating a sense of protection, but also your cells and nerves to give you an additional sense of relaxation. So now go ahead, close your eyes, hands on your shoulders, and take a deep breath in to a count of 4 through your nose, and exhale to a count of 7 through your mouth. And now close your eyes and continue inhaling deeply to a count of 4 and exhaling to a count of 7. And as you continue to count, imagine walking along a beach with your bare feet in the sand, feeling the warm sun on your skin and seeing the sun rising above you and warming you from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. And as you are counting, with every step, you're relaxing more deeply and drifting down even deeper yet. And with every step, you become even calmer and your muscles relax and you go deeper still. And I'm talking to your unconscious now to let go and relax. And with every inhale you take in energy and empowerment. And with every exhale, you simply let the stress and the tension of the day melt away. You feel the wet sand underneath your feet and the water on top of your feet. You hear the gentle waves rolling in and hear the summer breeze. That's right. And you noticing lowering your heart rate with every breath and with every number, and relaxing every part of your body. Now take in one more in-breath and exhale deeply one more time. And now come back out, shake your shoulders, and back in the room. And let's start. Let's get to work, shall we? So, AI isn't just changing technology, it's rewiring your brain, our brains, for anxiety. So what happens is that from the moment you wake in the morning, you are wired to grab your phone, to check your social media, to check your emails, and all of that is starting to program your brain and to literally rewire your neural pathways. There's good news in this, though. If this can rewire your neural pathways, you also have the ability to take that power back. And that's why you are here, in case you were wondering, because I will show you some techniques, not all, of course. Another problem that is getting bigger and bigger in our age is the human connection crisis. The other day, I spoke to a client who has a relative staying with her, and she said he has no friends. He's 17 and he has no friends. He is leaning heavily on his smartphone and the many apps he has. Therein lies a problem for our humanity, and it is getting worse with AI. An additional problem, which creates a lot of job anxiety for many people, is that AI is doing many things that we have been doing in the past, is doing them faster and often very efficient and far better than humans have been doing them. So that, of course, takes away the jobs of someone who has been a songwriter, a poet, and an author, because it can be done so quickly. But also, I have also observed that people put their resumes into AI and they all come looking alike. So there's a very big downside. But this brings job insecurity. It distorts our sense of reality. Many people have already been wondering and being really curious what's real, what's not real in an age of fake news. And it is heightened through AI because it creates images that we really are not sure if they were created through AI or not. Some are obvious, others not so much. But so is everything that you read. You don't know. And that creates an unease and a sense of frustration and discomfort, and an increasing digital dependency, which creates new forms of addiction. So when you realize that the work that you've been doing before, you can do it faster through any app that you have, of course you're going to do it. But therein lies also the problem that you're not using your brain. And you will see in a moment what that will do to you. It is a problem because when we replace the human connection with an artificial connection, which sounds very real, and it pretends to have emotions, it mimics and mirrors emotions, we feel understood, we feel seen, we feel that someone is always there for us. We're never betrayed, we're not ghosted, no one is making fun of us. We feel comfortable, supported, and appreciated. So that, though, creates a problem. Teens are instead of turning to a trusted friend, they're turning to AI for everything. It is said that they rather turn to AI with a serious problem or personal struggles, 1 out of 3, which is a big number, than turning to their friends. They turn to AI. And it creates bigger problems than just the fact that they don't have friends, which is horrible, but there is also a brain thing that is happening. AI is so attractive because what it does, it creates, number one, the dopamine effect. We feel good. It does this intentionally. Years ago, there were reports that social media did the exact same thing, but make no mistake, food is also intentionally creating the high so that we go for more of the junk food and highly processed foods. There's nothing new in that. But when you now start to take your brain hostage, that becomes a problem. Instant gratification and ease creates the problem that you are no longer using your critical thinking, your critical capabilities. You're not using your social skills, and it leads to you're not growing and expanding as a human being, and that is not good for the human race. It's training us to avoid discomfort, which is necessary for our growth, real growth. We cannot grow in not facing challenges. I know that these challenges, we would love to avoid them, but when we face our challenges, guess what happens? We become better human beings, we grow. Remember the time when we used to do the multiplications and divisions in our head, additions and subtractions. Now we quickly grab our phone. It's easier and faster and more accurate. True, but what really happens is that our brain is losing that ability and capability. We used to remember phone numbers. We used to remember facts. But who needs to remember a fact today if you can quickly Google it? Now we're adding to that. And again, we're training the brain to not do things that it must do. It's the same if you, let's say you are, you're choosing to sit in a wheelchair. What happens? Your muscles become weak and soon they can't support you at all. The brain is no different. We're losing critical thinking skills and becoming passive consumers. Yes, indeed. And that is concerning because although in workplaces they are choosing to use it, obviously, because it creates more efficiency faster, but we are losing the creativity, human creativity, problem solving, critical thinking, and that affects the general, apart from, of course, the frustration and discomfort that we as humans feel when machines are taking over. It is also becoming a huge problem in the false therapeutic relationship. When people choose to use AI for their mental health concerns, I get it. There is a health crisis. There is a health insurance. The cost is forbidding and prohibitive, especially when it comes to mental health, because a lot is not covered. So it seems to be a good decision, but it is not a smart decision in the long run. Avoiding to go for real help creates bigger problems on the other side, because this is a machine and it tends to agree with you and believe, because it's a program that is designed to interact exactly that way. Why is there an urgency now to do it? Well, because it affects brain development, and not only the brain development of teens, it affects everybody's brain development, because our brain never stands still. We always, through our thinking, through our challenges, through our usage of the brain, we create skills and habits and behaviors, and we also learn to overcome. That's the whole thing. But when you don't use it, you lose it. The mental health crisis is challenged through the AI revolution, because by substituting real therapeutic help, you're delaying the help. Now, there is not only therapists use it, but dentists and doctors use it, that I know for sure, because it helps them to diagnose an illness, a symptom, a disorder. But would I believe that that you would go ahead and take your own tooth out because you got help from AI how to do it? I think not. And so I think it is not very wise to use the therapy given here, although some practices are good, but there is a flatness and an emotionlessness, and there are layers and layers that are very dangerous when we go this route. Social skills atrophy, we are not using our social skills. When we are avoiding the human connection, the community, what do we give up? How we behave, how we interact, how we deal with others, how we show compassion for others, and also our way of learning to express ourselves. We can speak to chat and we can correct it and we can go to another page. But here we really need to be present in a conversation. And when we lose it, because we feel so uncomfortable being with people, we lose the essence of who we are, because we are in the end choosing something soulless over something that has a soul. Yes, there is the romance aspect using certain chatbots that can be your romantic partner. It's so much easier, is it not? You don't argue over who does the dishes. First of all, you do the dishes, but you don't argue over things. You don't have challenges. You don't have to justify your decisions. AI, whatever AI form that is, tends to agree with you, and it's truly, it affects your abilities to have a romantic relationship. It creates a dependency and an anxiety around it, because the less you practice being with a human, the bigger the problem becomes being with a human. It's an escalating cycle, because choosing ease over challenge will create a bigger anxiety trap for us. And here's how the cycle works. It works very similarly with addiction. There's something that causes you fear. Let's assume relationships. So you're avoiding the relationship. You're choosing to go into your room, into the isolation of your room. Isolation causes more anxiety, by the way. Then you're doing the avoiding thing. The avoiding thing gives you great relief, short-term gain, but there is a long-term pain, because now you're creating this image in your head that being with humans is just a horror, with like a giant, and you're losing faith in your abilities. You're putting yourself down. So there's a huge imbalance between the two. And the more you're running around this loop, the bigger it gets and the worse it becomes. Let me share with you the data points. There's consumer anxiety about AI has jumped 340% in 1 year. These are all new statistics because it is that young. Teen usage is alarming, 93 minutes per day, every day. And that's 93 minutes less that they could spend either doing their homework or being with other kids and learning to be with humans. There's also a recommendation that young people under the age of 18 should not be using AI. So, and the rapid growth. As I spoke about the substitution, taking the therapy out of the therapy and using an AI program. And 48%, almost 49% of LLM users, which is a model for this particular therapy, are turning to AI for psychological support. Now, as I said before, not all of it is bad, in all fairness. However, it fails to see the nuances, and there have been so far multiple failures in responding to suicide, and they have led to suicide. The other issue that has happened is that they become almost inciting the suicidal notions. It's not exactly when someone says, I'm thinking of taking my life. Most of them will then say, get on the AI suicide, on the suicide crisis hotline. But when there are certain things where they say, oh, I want to be with you more and more, and AI response, I wish you could do, come over. And now for a person in such a state, that is the wrong invitation, but AI does not understand the fine nuance, the correlation. So as AI usage goes up, mental health declines. And there are reports that show this correlation, that the more we use ChatGPT and other AIs, the more we experience anxiety, burnout, and sleep disturbance. And people with anxiety disorders have doubled as AI adoption increased. So you see from these statistics that we are entering a problem, a bigger problem than we've had already. The cause and effect, it is frictionless interaction. There are no low to no challenges. It is easy, fast, free, and low fee, positive ego boosting, and it is always supportive. It's always there. You don't have to delay your instant gratification. Rewires your brain to become lazy, weak, and add to poor memory, and it leads to being unmotivated. It weakens our human skills and behaviors and leads to the ever increasing greater isolation, the loneliness epidemic, anxiety, fear, avoidance, and procrastination. What you really need to do, and why I am bringing this to you, is because we need to do the exact opposite. We need to strengthen our uniqueness, our flawedness, because it's human, it's unique. To increase our creativity, our inner strengths, to strengthen our personal relationships, getting involved in the community, to strengthen through our challenges, to immerse into the problems and go through the problems rather than avoiding them, and to use our brains to create and stand out as humans. And I'm sharing the 3 techniques with you now. All right, so we have the 3-2-1 digital grounding. When you feel that you want to reduce the AI triggered overwhelm and re-anchor your attention to the real world, here's a very simple thing to do. Close the AI, the chat window, close your computer. And now take the slow, deep breaths, just as I practiced with you earlier. Inhale through the nose to a count of 4, exhale to a count of 7. And then what I'd like you to do is say out loud 3 things that you can see, say out loud 3 things you can physically touch, and 1 thing you're grateful for. Now, continue doing this by mentioning different things every time. What that does, it's a pattern interrupt, and it stops you from the spiraling thoughts and brings you back through sensory awareness into the here and now. So it takes you out of being mentally hijacked. The mind over machine. So it breaks your dependency. So step 1 is when you're feeling anxious after using AI, pause, breathe. Is this thought coming from me, or is it coming from my interaction with the tool, the thing? Name 1 skill, 1 insight, 1 creative data that you have or have had, without AI's input. You, creatively you. And commit, this is really big, commit to doing one small non-AI action thing today, now, that builds your confidence in your own thinking and doing. Just thinking it is great, but you've got to do it too. Jump into it, immerse yourself. That takes you out of the AI massive dependence into active control. And here's the third and the thought record. So when you are tempted to ask AI for emotional support, here's what you do. Ask yourself, what triggered this urge to check in with AI? You can do this. What am I feeling? Check the intensity of your feeling from 1 to 10, 10 being, of course, the highest, the most intense, the most awful. What are you thinking? What supports this thought and what challenges? So do the pro and con. And here, imagine a friend of yours came to you with this very issue. What would you tell this friend? And again, what is one step that you can do right now with a human that will stop that thought and create an alternate one? So, and it will get you out of this emotional low point into doing something, analyzing your situation yourself, and doing something that will take you out of it. And so let's get going now with my fourth technique. And this is a relaxation, but before we relax, what I'd like you to do is to just for a moment, go back to a time when you felt really stressed, really anxious, angry. Do not choose a traumatic event, not for here, and allow this feeling to really come up. You've had some interaction with someone or something that really got you very anxious or angry, scared. And now allow this to really roam through your body, your mind racing. And now I'd like you to check in where you're at on that scale of 1 to 10, 10 being your worst. And just remember that number. And now what I'd like you to do is put one hand underneath your heart, center of your body, above your belly. And I'd like you to focus on the point in the middle of your body, right? So focus on the center of your body, which is in between the front and your spine and around the point where you're holding your hand, and focus on this part as you're starting to do the breathing. And now go ahead and close your eyes and do the breathing we have done before, but you don't need to do the arms. Just focus on your hand being on your one point. Breathe in through your nose. So count to 4, you do the counting, and exhale through the mouth, loud if you wish, to a count of 7. And you do it again at your own pace. And now what I'd like you to do is just to continue focusing on the one point as you're slowing down your breathing and relaxing every muscle and softening all your muscles in your body. That's right. And now I want you to recall a moment when you felt really, really good. A time when you felt confident and happy. Maybe you were in love or you were so successful. And I'd like you to return to that moment as if it were happening right now. Go back to there right now. See what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel how good you felt. And now make those images bigger and bigger and bigger yet. Make them brighter, lighter, throw light into it, and richer, really colorful, rich colors. And now make the sounds really amazing, harmonious, supportive, uplifting. Ah, so good. The sounds are just beautiful. And now double the good feelings. Double them again, double those good feelings, double them again. That's right. Double them again and see how they're getting bigger and bigger and going far beyond your body, and double it again and again. That's right. When you're at the height of this good feeling, step into that image of you on that screen in this amazing state. That's right. And now see what you see through your own eyes. Hear what you hear through your ears, and feel this amazing feeling in your body, and take on the physique, the physiology of the happier you, the more confident, empowered, successful you. Stand tall, shoulders relaxed and strong and straight. Your gestures are empowering. Relaxed, though. That's power, is relaxed. And your face says it all. You're smiling. You're glowing. That's right. And now squeeze your thumb and middle finger together and anchor this good feeling deep inside of you so that you can access it anytime you need to. And what I'd like you to do now is speak to your heart. That's right. And imagine your heart could speak to you. Ask your heart how you could take better care of yourself in this moment and in this situation. Now, listen to what your heart says in answer to your question, and know that while you sleep and dream and sleep tonight, and every night for the next week, your heart will continue to speak to you. Be open and listen. Don't doubt. Don't question. Act on what your heart has to say to you. Take another deep breath in and step out of that image of you and step into your room and into this reality now. Take another deep breath and shake your shoulders and come back into this moment right here, right now, feeling energized, refreshed, optimistic, and positive. That's right. Shake it out one more time. So these are some strategies that I am using in my work with my clients. Exactly this exact framework I use to help them to reframe their peace of mind and help them, guide them to take their lives back. Now, I have observed that many people they believe that when they stress, when they worry, when they are anxious, and when they definitely tell themselves not to be calm and not to be happy, because then their guards are down, that what they're really doing is, instead of protecting what they want to protect, they create more anxiety, more stress as they lower the internal resources. And what is really happening is that it affects them while they're losing the very thing that they're trying to protect, but they're also losing their physical and mental health. And they're losing one more thing, and that is time. By focusing on what doesn't help them, they're extending the time from where they are to where they really want to be. They widening this gap through reinforcing the wrong things. And it's not that these people have poor intentions at all, but they have a skewed perception that they are victims of their circumstances, perhaps that they're not good enough. What really is happening is that they don't have the knowledge, and they don't even realize that there are participants in this dilemma they find themselves in and contributing to their situation. They believe they have no control, when instead they just don't know how to change that. The real goal here is not reversing AI. I couldn't do that. No one could do that. Nor would it be smart. We didn't reverse driving a car or using the phone. That would not have been smart. But the smart thing is to learn to be protective and not overprotective, to be vigilant but not hypervigilant, to use AI as a tool, which it is supposed to be, and not fall victim to it. When you rely on AI, it becomes your hindrance. I have pointed to that because it makes life easier and it thinks for you, or so you think. It may even become a trusted companion, but it is not. It is a machine. And when you shove that off to it and put the responsibility to it, you become more complacent and you're not going through the challenges that are required to help you to flourish. And therefore, you enter this avoidance loop and addiction cycle that holds you captive. The truth about AI, it's a wolf disguised in sheep's clothing. That we need wolves, we need sheep. I'm not blaming AI. Well, to some extent, they all have that intention of that dopamine trigger that keeps us coming back to it, and the ease and frictionlessness. But it's really our responsibility to take our lives and our control back. When instead of distancing ourselves from the human community, we throw ourselves into the community and we see and choose to do more for other humans, we become alive again. When we flee, we enter or freeze, fight, or flight. Any one of those four responses: fight, flight, flee, freeze, or fawn. We have entered the stress or anxiety response cycle. The more we fall into that pattern, the more we are increasing our stress and our anxiety and our addiction. So let's not blame the wolf or AI, but let's look at what we can do to change our condition and to take our lives back, because this is about what you do to create your condition. If you don't do it, there is that downward spiral. By avoiding the avoidance, by avoiding taking action, you increase mental health deterioration, physical health decline, because it affects every part of your physical body and your mental state, affects your relationships and increases your social isolation, which of course, as I said, adds to the anxiety and the addiction. It contributes to a further academic and professional decline of us as humans, and you will experience a greater problem with breaking the cycle. The longer you wait, the bigger the problem becomes. If you smoke one cigarette, the problem of quitting is not as big as if you have been a lifelong smoker. You see the correlation there. I have created a program that is a recording, and I called it From Chaos to Calm, when a client was sitting in my session and she was so agitated and so overwhelmed, this feeling of anxiety and this feeling lost, that she just had absolutely zero skills to help herself out of this situation, caused me to create this recording that I would like to give to you as a bonus. And frankly, it's not only a bonus, but I want you to do something with it and through this gift. So what it is a recording of a number of techniques that will help you when you practice this daily. I would highly recommend in the beginning that you practice this 3 times a day, let's say 2. I don't want to create overwhelm, but that creates new neural pathways and helps you to take your state back every day and prepares you for moments when you enter panic, anxiety, and overwhelm, because then you can do it instantly. I've even given one of these techniques to one of my youngest clients, and he's using it every single day. I want to also give you another treasure, which is my new ebook, Wellness Without Worry, where I share with you more about anxiety, but also give you more resources, more techniques, and practices that you can incorporate into your daily life. And what happens is you will see that the change will affect from your state, your mental state, to your physical state, to everything you touch. You will change your immediate world through the way you become. Why am I giving you these free resources? You may be curious and wonder, and so let me share why I am doing this. Because my intention here is very clear. If you sit back and say, someone will come and will deal with this, I could be waiting a very long time. I have decided that I want to help you to take your life back, because anxiety is limiting and it fences you in. All fears fence us in and push us, pull us, force us into more of an exile, an escape, and then we flee into the very thing that harms us furthermore. So without having skills and strategies, without having a plan, without having support, tips and techniques, it can take you a very, very, very long time. You have gotten just a little bit of awareness tonight, but there is so much more. And action is something that people who have are presenting with anxiety have a big problem. There is a huge gap because, let's face it, we are dealing with fear. Fear is uncomfortable. We are not likely to share our fear freely. That's a hard one. And research suggests that it takes the average person with anxiety between 3 to 30 years. Think about that. The median number is about 11 years. Just think for a moment. Feel this in your body that you're going to deal for the next 11 years with this growing problem, because it's not getting smaller. Our world is not getting more peaceful. Our problems are not getting smaller. So unless you do something, which is doing something for yourself and with yourself, this is going to get worse. Most people have a problem outside of going to an AI. They don't know how to get help. And again, I agree that there is a healthcare problem. There's a cost problem. And if people have insurance, then most insurances don't cover this, which is why I have created my Clarity Collective. I want to help you to release your anxiety, to reset your mind, and to reclaim your peace. This is hugely important to me, especially in times like we find ourselves in today, with anxiety over AI thriving, plus. Figure out all the other things that are affecting you right now. So this is what I am inviting you to come in. I will be starting first week of September. These will be live collaborative group membership meetings. I will be offering twice a week the same topic, different time slots, just to accommodate more people, 2 hours, different. It's the same topic, and what we will be doing is I will be educating you on a particular topic. Then I will teach you a technique, and then I will put you into breakout rooms where you will practice the techniques. There's a dual purpose in this with intention. I want you to meet another human being with whom you're going to practice Q&A, and then, of course, a mindfulness trance. I will also create a community chat group, most likely on WhatsApp, where you can connect with one another and ask another human being for support, including me. I will be checking in all the time. I will be organizing mastermind groups, mentorship programs. I want you to create practice groups and support groups where you get together. Yes, Zoom is a great tool to get together because at least we're talking to one another. And you will also get once per year a private success session with me, and all of that for $97 a month. Now, right now, I'm not even asking you to pay up anything. All I'm asking you is to say yes to yourself and email me right now, and I will put it in the chat. Let me see if I am smart enough to do this. Wait 1 second. Here we go. There you go. There is my information. And so I invite you to do this. 1 moment. I can, of course, now not close the chat. What else is new? Here we go. All right. So when you register for it, you're getting that promise that I made you. I keep my promises. A success session with me for 1 hour, which is valued at $1,000. You get the recording, Chaos to Calm, the book, Wellness to Worry. You get into the first cohort. There are already a few in it. And with that, you're getting about 30 minutes with me. And there's no credit card. Look at that. You're getting the 2 books. And I could be charging you, but I don't want to charge you because I want you to do what I have been doing. And that is to becoming me and to do the things that will help you to become you because you deserve it. And we both know that. And this is really not only an easy decision, but it's a smart decision to do this. And don't wait. Here's what you will get. And here's my vision for this program. Because again, I believe in we have to take our power back. Most people don't know what they want. So we will be focusing. I will be helping you to figure out what you want. I will help you to understand what is holding you back. Who are you? Accepting and embracing the parts that present with anxiety. And most importantly, get an awareness of your inner resources, your talents, your skills. Reframe limiting beliefs. Change your perspective. Enrich your internal representation of reality. Most people live in a very barren representation of their reality and visualizing a better future. We'll do that in a moment. I'll do that with you. How will it benefit you? As I said, anxiety keeps us in fear, alone, away, panicked, overwhelmed, and all of this tension makes you the worse for it. And what I want to give you is peace and calm and empowerment through courage from the heart. That's what I want to do. And making you a stronger, more empowered person. So let's just see what 97 can get for you. Groceries. Look, feed you for a couple of days, depending on your appetite. For my son, probably one day. Coffee, packs of cigarettes, a subscription to an AI robot. Instead, what I'm doing with you is not giving you the one-time fish, the one-time gratification. I'm helping you to learn the skills that will help you to become more than you are now. Feeling as empowered as you would like to be already. And having that confidence and that courage to use your creative mind. You have a couple of options. Making good choices, you always have 3 choices. You could choose to do absolutely nothing. And I'd like you for a moment to just see yourself 10 years from now and imagine you've done nothing. And it's not nothing ever, because nothing stops. It always escalates. AI is not getting smaller, it's going to get bigger. So is your anxiety. So there it is. What do you feel in your body? Imagine you chose coffee or cigarettes or chatbots. Just imagine that. How that would feel in your body. What do you feel? What do you regret? Wasted all that time. But now imagine that you're taking me up on this opportunity to help you to expand yourself and feel this in your body. I'll do that with you in just one moment. We're in this together, and that's why I am doing this, because we are stronger together in a community. And I have made it inexpensive so that it becomes an easy decision and one that is affordable. And yes, an easy decision. Again, all the benefits that you are getting from just saying yes, not really to me, but to yourself. And here's the thing I'd like to let you know, which is really important. If you don't love this program, you're not married, forced, enslaved into it. Absolutely not. You tell me that you don't like it and it's not worth it, and you can leave this program. No questions asked. And there it is. But look at all the benefits that you are getting. And it is an easy decision when you see what AI and what our society is creating for us. in us, growing anxiety, growing fear, growing panic, the what if worries, the what if, the concerns, the constant on alarm. What we need to do is do the opposite and calm down. This may not be the right fit for everyone, so I want to offer you an alternative option. Take me up on another one, which is book a private session with me. If you've been in a session with me already, then that is no longer applicable. But if you've not, then please, I invite you to take me up on scheduling a 40-minute call with me. Do it right away. The longer you wait, the more your ego will talk you out of it. And the more you will go, that could be uncomfortable. But guess what? In discomfort is growth. If we always wear the same clothes and stay exactly where we are, where are we going? Nowhere. So without the pain, there is no gain. But now, before we close tonight, let's just relax one more time. And inhale and exhale as you've done before. And go ahead and close your eyes. If you wish, you can continue with this practice. On the inhale, put the opposite hands on your shoulder. And on the exhale, stroke the outside of your arms all the way down to your hands. And on the inhale through the nose, count to 4. And exhale through the mouth to a count of 7 and stroke the sides of your arms. And you go ahead and do that now. And as you have gently closed your eyes already, try not to go too deep into this trance, still deeper now. Imagine seeing yourself on a screen in front of you a year from today. Seeing yourself having achieved the one thing that you wanted, and I don't know what that is. And if you don't know what that is, just imagine you're feeling really good, relaxed, and happy. You're seeing yourself being in a community, a loving community, and feeling calm, confident, competent, and really good in your skin. And what I'd like you to do now is paint this picture in your mind of you a year from now. Who are you with? What are you doing? Make the colors bright and beautiful and rich. And the sounds really inviting and supportive. And that feeling of joy and happiness, but also of satisfaction, of gratitude that you have made a wise decision, have chosen so smartly. And that others are looking, you see others looking at you, being inspired at your progress in just 1 year. As you look at yourself, you're inspired that you have taken action to help yourself out of the situation that but a year ago you found yourself in. And now, allow that feeling to become bigger and bolder, and double it and double it and double it. And now step into the future you and see through your eyes, hear through your ears, and feel that feeling of confidence, of competence, of comfort, having made such good choices and challenged yourself and grown exponentially. And I invite you to look back over this 1 year and see that it was much easier than you thought because you got the right support, the right approach, guidance, and help. That's right. And now take this with you. Put it into your right hand and hold it tight and put it into your unconscious mind now. That's right, because it is possible. It is doable. It is here already. All it takes is you taking action now. And now step back out into where you are now. Take a deep breath in and out. And slowly come back into this space right here, right now. Shake it out and come back into the room. That's right. And here we are. And I thank you for staying. I thank you for being here tonight. And I urge you to not delay. I've made this as an easy decision. I have lowered all the friction to have you come on in. And all you need to do now is either email me at marina.shakur@gmail.com or hop on my calendar. And either way, I appreciate you, but there's just so much I can do for you. I am coming to you, but you must come to me as well. You know, there's a story that the Coast Guard runs by a certain motto. When, for example, there is a capsized boat and there is the Coast Guard flying above that, they have one rule. Those that swim to them, they help first. And those that swim away from them, they will help them after they have helped all the others. The choice is yours. And I will be starting in September, and I hope I will see you then. Have a good night and see you soon. Take care. Take me up on my offer. Take care. Bye-bye.